If you want your chickens to be happy and lay as many eggs as possible this year, it's important to spring clean your chicken coop. And that's what we're doing today, right, Jonathan?
Yep.
All right, but before we get started, if you like videos about homesteading, gardening, animal care, cooking, make sure you guys are subscribed and turn on your notifications for more. First thing that we're going to do, which the boys have graciously volunteered to help with, is scoop all the old litter out of the chicken coop. As you can see, this is a very big, dusty mess. We've been using the deep litter method ever since we've been keeping chickens. And so that you can imagine, this is very thick, very deep. It's going to take a while, but it's a good time to do it now that it's starting to warm up. So we're going to get all this bedding out of here. And this is also a good time. I already kicked most of them out, but I think that one's broody back there. To get all of our broody hens out, because they won't want to come in the coop while we're working, and get some fresh air under their bellies. Since a lot of them we're trying to break. I think we kept one who already hatched chicks, and we're going to keep another one who's hatching. She's working on hatching quail chicks. What you doing under there, Rocky? Huh? What are you doing under the chicken coop? You gonna take a nap? You gonna take a nap under the chicken coop? With the chickens? Now that we got most of the pine shavings out, sorry if there's an echo, I'm gonna go ahead and rinse down this entire chicken coop. What are you doing? You're like,
what is she doing in this coop? What are you doing, remodeling? I liked it the way it was.
Anyway, so let's get started. We're just going to hose the whole thing off. Just get a hardened hose, rinse the walls, rinse the floors. Just get everything as clean as possible before we scrub it. This is after one round of hosing and sweeping out the excess water. It looks like it actually did most of it, so I should only have to do this 2 or 3 more times. So as you can see, I've just been hosing down the walls, hosing the floor, trying to get all the rest of the pine shavings and old bedding out of here. I've been doing the same in the nesting boxes. Rinsed off the roosting bars really good. I forgot to do up there. There's some cobwebs and stuff up there, so I'll do that this round. And I got out most of it. And then I just use a broom to sweep out all the excess water, pine shavings, stuff like that, because there's lips around the entire chicken coop, and that's probably how most of them are going to be. There's not going to be a flat area where you can all the water can run out. And even if there is, you'll still need to push probably a lot of it out. So I'm going to go ahead and do another round. All right, the next step, I got it mostly clean in here. Obviously, you're not going to get every single pine shaving out. The next step is we're going to scrub it, but you don't want to use any cleaners that you buy from the store. You're better off just making a solution of 1 part vinegar to 1 part water. And you can put this in a spray bottle or do what I did in a bucket. Get yourself a scrub brush. I have one on hand now just for chicken and animal cleaning. So it's never in the house. We don't use it in the house at all. So pretty simple. You're just going to take this, dip in your solution, and scrub the floors, the nesting boxes, your roosting bars, your walls. Anything that gets dirty, just clean the whole thing. So if you're not sure if you should clean it or not, clean it. Just take your scrub brush, dip, and scrub. Obviously, this will be easier if you have flooring on your chicken coop, which as you can see we did, but it's been a few years and it just keeps peeling up at this point. So maybe don't do stick-on vinyl. just a thought, but most of it has peeled up at this point. It would have been really easy to clean had it been that all the flooring was here. So let's get into it. This shouldn't take too long, and then we'll rinse it again. All right, after scrubbing it out and rinsing it out again, sweeping out the excess water, it's pretty much clean. Now, we're not quite done yet. We still have a couple things we need to do. First, leave all your coop doors open, your nesting box doors, everything. Let it air dry. This is really important. If you don't want to put new pine shavings down if it's not dry. So let it air dry. Leave all the doors open. Your girls may come in the coop if they still have access to it. That's not a big deal. Also, air drying it will get mostly rid of the vinegar smell that's going to be in your coop. Vinegar smell, though, is not really that bad compared to what chicken coops usually smell like. And here comes someone now. Here, chickie. They haven't seen it yet. The last time they were in here was when we were removing the pine shavings. So, I scrubbed the roost bars, scrubbed the nesting boxes, the dividers, everything. The walls, the floors, especially. You liking it? It's very clean. And so while we're waiting, if you have any repairs that you need to make to the coop, or if you want to add any upgrades to your coop, now would be the time to do it. While there's no pine shavings in here, it's clean, easy access. So I'm going to hang up an additional roosting bar because I noticed that there's not quite enough room anymore for all of them. Some of them have been sleeping underneath the roosting bars. So I'm going to hang up an additional one probably over here towards me with this piece of wood here. John's going to show you what we're going to do with it. Sort of like that. At the same height of the one pretty much back there, but just that there's an additional bar here so that they all have access to a roost bar now. And another thing I'm going to do is our 5-gallon water broke during the last frost or freeze that we had and their water froze. And I had a 3-gallon one sitting around, so I gave it to him. But I bought a new 5-gallon one, but I was waiting until to make sure there was no more chance of freezing until I brought it out. So I'm going to go ahead and bring the 5-gallon water out too. And in general, I'm just going to tidy up their area. We had a broken water sitting down here, like a little one. So I got that out of here. So pretty much just use this time while you're waiting for it to air dry to just tidy up, add any upgrades, make any repairs that might need to be done. And because now's the time to do it. And then I'll check back in once the coops are dry. All right, y'all, it is finally clean and dry. And this chicken here decided to sit up on the roost bars and lay an egg from the highest roost bar in the coop. So you can imagine that there was a puddle of crushed egg back there. I got 2 bags of pine shavings here, and it doesn't really matter what size flake you use with adult chickens. Just with baby chickens, it's important you use the large. I just like to use large if my feed store has it. And this here is a mix that I use. It helps if you use the deep litter method, it helps it break down faster. And it also is a prevention for mites and lice. It's all organic. So if you guys want to know what that is, give this video a thumbs up and put a chicken emoji in the comments. I'm just going to go ahead and open up these shavings, spread them through the coop, and I'm going to apply my treatment here. Before I show you the final result, I'm going to give the chickens some of their favorite treats. And I think I'll give a handful to the ducks too, since they're not free ranging right now. All the birds do really seem to enjoy these. So if you are gonna use anything to treat your chicken coop for mites and lice, just make sure you get the nesting boxes good. And I'm gonna try putting some old hay from the cows over in these instead of pine shavings this time. I know I started and they had pine shavings in them, and that's what I've always done. But I think this time I'm going to try putting hay in them and just see if it's easier to keep up with and, that sort of stuff. So make sure you put if you wanted to treat for lice and mites, make sure you get the nesting boxes, all the crevices and stuff, and the roost bars especially. Those 2 are the most vulnerable areas because the chickens are sleeping on the roost all night and they're sitting there laying eggs, and that's when they like to attach onto them. And then other than that, when I lay down my pine shavings, I spread it all over the top. And you don't have to worry about mixing this in at all because the chickens are going to come in here and they're going to scratch this all up and they're going to mix it around. That's one thing you can always count on chickens to do is mix things. And I'm just saying this, but it works really well for compost. So no more manual labor. I also just took my hand back there and just got some on the walls, the crevices down there, the frame, as you can see, just to make sure, like I said, better to prevent than to treat. And so far, our chickens have not had lice or mites. And I also use this treatment in their known dust bathing holes. Like I said, they free range, so I probably don't know about all their dust bathing holes, but I get the ones that I know about. So they have some near our peach trees, some under our house, and I just make sure that I get some of that in there. And like I said, you don't need to mix it in because they'll do that for you. Can't y'all see how much of a difference that made? Our girls are so happy with this clean out. Make sure y'all like and share. Leave your thoughts and questions in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe.